are going to know about one of the interesting story of disabled woman Hellen Keller. The only disability in life is bad attitude. As you got to know about Hellen Keller, then you will get astonished by knowing struggle in her life. Hi, this is Sopal Suryoshi. I welcome back to you on my Be Cognizant YouTube channel. Friends, I am a motivational speaker. I motivate people through this Be Cognizant YouTube channel. If your child students are not performing well in their studies, then you must watch this video, because this video is going to help you a lot. If you really like this video, then do not forget to like, share this video among your close people. This is the birthplace of Hellen Keller, and it has been designated and preserved as National Historic Landmark, and since 1954 it has been operated as National House Museum and sponsors National Hellen Keller Day. We are going to know about one of the interesting story of disabled woman Hellen Keller. The only disability in life is bad attitude. As you got to know about Hellen Keller, then you will get astonished by knowing struggle in her life. First of all, let us know about Hellen Keller. Who was Hellen Keller? Where and when did Hellen Keller born at? How did she completed her education? By her outstanding achievements, she had proved that she didn't have disability, she had a different ability. Hellen Keller born on 27 June 1880. She was an American author, disability rights advocate, political activist and lecturer. Born in West Tuscumbia, Alabama, she lost her sight and hearing after a bout of illness when she was 19 months old. Means she became totally deaf and dumb. She could not speak and hear. How to teach to such a child was the big question in front of family and teachers. She then communicated primarily using home science until the age of 7, when she met her first teacher and lifelong companion, Annie Sullivan. Sullivan taught Keller language, including reading and writing. After an education at both specialist and mainstream schools, Keller attended Radcliffe College of Harvard University. Became the first deaf and blind person in United States to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. This is the picture of birthplace of Hellen Keller. Her birthplace has been designated and preserved as National Historic Landmark. Since 1954, it has been National Historic Landmark. Since 1954, it has been operated as a house museum and sponsors an annual Hellen Keller Day. Keller's father worked for many years as an editor of Tuscumbia, North Alabamian. He has served as the Confederate Army. The family were part of the slaveholding elite before the First World War, but lost status later. Her father was the daughter of Charles W. Adams, a Confederate general. At 19th month, Keller contracted an unknown illness described by the doctor as acute congestion of the stomach and the brain. Contemporary doctors believe it might have been meningitis caused by the bacterium Neisseria meningitidis. The illness left Keller both deaf and dumb. She lived as the recalled in her autobiography at sea in a dance. At that time, Keller was able to communicate somewhat with Martha Washington, who was 2 years older and the daughter of the family cook, and understood the girl's sign by the age of 7. Keller had 60 home signs to communicate with her family and could distinguish people by the vibration of their footsteps. Helen Keller took its education in Special Educational Institute of America. Then one teacher and lifelong companion came into the life of Helen Keller and changed the whole life of Helen Keller. Her name was Annie Sullivan. Sullivan began to teach Helen to communicate by spelling words into her hand, beginning with doll for the doll that she DOLL for the doll that she brought Keller as a present. Keller initially struggled with lessons since she could not comprehend that every object had a word identifying it. When Sullivan was trying to teach Keller the word for mug, Keller became so frustrated she broke the mug. Keller remembered how she soon began imitating Sullivan's hand gestures. Next month, Keller made a breakthrough when she realized that the motion her teacher was making on the palm of her hand while running cool water over her other hand symbolized the idea of water. She completed her education under the guidance of renowned teachers. Keller learned to speak and spent much her life giving speeches and lectures on aspects of her life. She learned to hear speech using Tadoma methods, which means using her fingers to feel the lips and throat of the speaker. She became proficient at using Braille and using finger spelling to communicate. She learned to hear speech using Tadoma method, which means using her fingers. She learned to hear speech using Tadoma method, which means using her fingers to feel the lips and throat of the speaker. She became proficient at using Braille. She learned to hear speech using Tadoma method, which means using her fingers to feel the lips and throat of the speaker. She became proficient at using Braille and using finger spelling to communicate. Keller became world famous speaker. She was an advocate for the people with disabilities amid numerous other causes. She traveled to 25 countries. She traveled to 25 different countries giving motivational speeches about deaf people's condition. She was suffragist, pacifist, radical socialist, birth control supporter and opponent Woodrow Wilson. She and George Keller founded the Helen Keller International Organization. This organization is devoted to research in vision, health and nutrition. She founded various international organizations to work for resolving the problems of disabled people. She traveled to over 40 countries with Sullivan, making several trips to Japan and becoming favorite of the Japanese people. Keller met every US president from Grover Cleveland to Lyndon B. Johnson and was a friend with many famous figures including Alexander Graham Bell, Charlie Chaplin, Mark Twain. Helen Keller, who both deaf and dumb, but she could receive 89 national awards of country like America, which is known as superpower all over world. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. So there were lots of challenges in the life of Hellen Keller, but she faced the challenges with courage and made life meaningful and inspirational to all of us. If such people have been tempting to history to take a note of their successful life, then why cannot we succeed in our life? According to Winston Churchill, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So friends, we should be optimists in our lives, positive and always ready to welcome challenges in our life. I hope you might have really enjoyed this today's motivational story of Hellen Keller. I welcome your comments, suggestions about today's session. If you really liked today's session, then share this inspirational story with your close people. To know more information about Hellen Keller, read books about her life and find out online information about Hellen Keller. I have a big collection of such a nice collection of successful stories of such people. Again, I will come with such interesting story in next video. So friends, see you soon in next video. Bye bye.